What's up guys, Nick here, and today I want to talk with you all about 24 frames a second on the Mavic Mini. It's a new firmware update that came out. I kind of want to talk about some things I noticed, so let's get into it. So I actually had an interesting error happen when I was up flying it in the city, getting them cool drone shots for the beginning, where it said a motor speed error, so I looked into it, and you just had to change some propellers. So that's exactly what I did. You know, I didn't think much of it, so I changed the propellers, and it flew great. I actually went to a whole nother location after that. Flew it again, it flew just fine. Then I went to go fly it a few days ago, and the same thing happened. I got the same motor speed error, so I looked into it, and someone else had the same problem after they updated the firmware. So I'm gonna hover it in my room for a little bit to see if it'll come up with the error again. If you change the propellers and the same thing keeps happening, they're saying to contact DJI, but I'm almost convinced it could be a firmware problem. I don't know, that time it didn't do it. I mean, it flew perfectly fine, no problems at all. Comment down below what you guys think, or if you guys have had the same problem with your Mavic Mini. So some more boring features that really don't affect video is the improved signal strength. So overall, you should have a better connection to the controller. It has some improved flight stability in some scenarios. I did notice in higher wind conditions it was able to handle itself a little bit better. They also improved the download speed of photos and videos to your device. So if you're downloading them on the field, this shouldn't take as much time. And they also optimized remote control performance, so it should be a little bit more responsive when you're using the drone. But the features that actually matter for video, starting off with the huge one, 24 frames a second. Now you guys know this, I shoot all my videos in 24 frames a second. It's the most cinematic frame rate to use, and I mainly switch between my DSLR and my drone when I'm doing cinematic sequences, so it only makes sense to have your drone shoot 24 frames a second. And now finally this one can, and it looks great. It can do 24 frames a second in 2.7K and 1080p. They also added 48 frames a second. I'm not really sure when you'll use that, but I mean, hey, it's there. Now, I've been waiting for this ever since before I got the drone. When I was first looking into it, there's a rumor going around about potential firmware update for 24 frames a second, because originally it didn't have it. It had 30 frames a second, 60, and then 25, but there's still something different about shooting 25 frames a second as opposed to true 24. Now, I consider this drone to be a much more video geared tool. Another big thing they added was the ability to do somewhat manual controls. So the EV meter you can change, but when you do that, you can now lock it, so that way it won't change the exposure as you're going through your shot. Another big one is the manual white balance. You can dial in the white balance now, so that doesn't change as you're moving around your environment, which is great. That's one thing I noticed, that when I'm flying around, if I pan the camera up, then the exposure changes, the white balance changes, and overall it doesn't look that good when that happens. But now you can lock both of those so that won't happen to you. So great work, DJI. It's a fantastic firmware update that works great for this drone. It makes us video people a lot happier with the product, and with all those other improvements like the flight stability and connection, it just instills more confidence in me as I'm flying the drone. But that's it for me, guys. Thank you all for watching. As you can see for this video, I kind of set up the whole video set. I don't know, just for nostalgic reasons. It's been a while. But thank you all for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. Make sure to like and subscribe if you are new. Peace out.